Hello Redditors of the internet, Noble Xenon here, and welcome back to another Reddit video. And today we will be looking at r/JustNeckbeardThings. But as you can see, it's extra content of part 41. Typically, these extra episodes cover a single long post that may not have been covered fully in the main video. These episodes will contain the entire post even if they were covered in the previous video. This is so that people can fully enjoy these without having to watch the full episode. But if you already watched and want to skip to the part that I didn't read already, just go to this timestamp. And yeah, the intros won't be this long for the next time, so let's get started. Now this one's not a post per se, but rather a Neckbeard in the comments section of a satirical post. The Neckbeard starts us off. OP is dumb, this is satire. OP replies, ooh, slurs, I didn't know this was satire. Relax. Neckbeard replies, no, it is not a slur. I am saying you are clinically R-word, or if you want a more PC term, differently abled for not seeing it was satire. It is the same thing as calling you really stupid or low IQ. Your slurs spiel doesn't work here. Oh, and I'm perfectly calm and composed. You being dumb is not a reason to get me mad, so no need to tell me to relax. Also learn to capitalize at the start of a sentence, capitalize the I when referring to yourself in first person, and then the R word once again. This guy must really love that word. OP replies, it's a freaking internet post, dude. Calm down, it really isn't that important. I didn't realize it was satire, my bad. I'll be more careful next time. Someone already politely pointed this out, and I asked if I should remove the post or not. They suggested I shouldn't, and I know how to capitalize things, thanks. I just prefer not to. An idiosyncrasy, I guess. Since it's getting on your nerves this much, I won't. I highly recommend not using the R word so lightly. I'm perfectly mentally able. Not being able to spot one instance of satire doesn't change that. You, on the other hand, may want to seek help for how angry this seems to be making you. Not normal. Have a nice day. Then, the Neckbeard replies, being an internet post doesn't mean I should keep my mouth shut when the user is being dumb, which on the other hand, and contrary to your wrong belief, is when one should say it is on the internet. So I say it to you, it is the internet. Be prepared to be called out on your mental deficiencies on the internet at some point. The only one not calm and deeming this important is clearly you. I just tell you the fact that you're being dumb. I don't think it's important at all. No, it's not getting on my nerves. It just confirms your status. And you can claim that you know how to do that, but I've provided zero evidence of knowing so. So I can, based on the lack of evidence, say that no, you do not know how to capitalize properly. Yeah, you're clearly showing with these huge tirades that yes, it is getting on your nerves. I would kindly advise you to stop using your ignorance to discriminate against differently abled people and implying they are not mentally stable, since it doesn't have to do with mental stability, but rather cognitive deficiency. You can be not mentally ill at all and still be cognitively deficient, but the fact that you get so riled up doesn't really show that you're mentally stable, at which has zero to do with you being dumb. You are just mentally unstable at the same time. Not so common occurrence. Not being able to spot satire, being constantly illogical and illiterate as you are, only confirms that you are being dumb. And how you think me speaking the truth needs to be a result of me being angry. Ridiculous. Well, the anger is seeping from your post. That is much more obvious than the satire in my opinion. Anyway, I would not want to seek help since I'm not angry, nor this is making me angry. I wouldn't be more chill even if I wanted to. Heart rate is 68 to 76 how calm I am. Do you really need to post your heart rate just to prove how calm you are? That's just over the top. You, on the other hand, with your profane language, yet you're the one with profane language here, and taking this personally and doubling down on the defense only to further confirm it so, need to seek help for your anger. Though I'm sure you already have help for your cognitive disability, now you will need one for your mental health. Have a wonderful day. I just woke up not too while ago and I'm having a delightful day, thanks for the wishes, regardless of how insincere. And again, chickadee check yourself before you rickety wreck yourself. And the OP in their infinite wisdom has stopped replying because it's pretty damn obvious this guy is trolling. However, somebody else, Salty Bagels, replies, scoff. On the contrary, you utter buffoon, take a frickin' joke. Also, it's not okay for you to call someone the R-word just because they insulted you, but how would you know that the last time you probably made contact with a human was when you carried your Jabba the Hutt body up out of your mother's basement to take your chicken tendies just to descent back into your cave, which smells of crusty body pillows and Mountain Dew scented Axe body spray. So please do use a favor, or do us a favor probably, and just go in front of a mirror and look at yourself, then ask yourself, would my anime waifu date me if I was real? And understand the answer is no. Then just shut up. That's an interesting way to call someone a neckbeard. But you really shouldn't have responded to the troll, but then on the other hand it gave us more content, so... And the Neckbeard replies, on the contrary, utter buffoon? What is on the contrary, you absolute crap-headed, drooling, brainless, excrement-filled cranial cavity with legs and arms? Nothing but your own sedated, comatose, myopic model of reality is on the contrary. Everything of what I said is on point. If you're gonna argue, at least support your assertions. The fact that you just think you can assert on the contrary with zero evidence and counter-arguments, and just long-windedly name-call shows that you're an utter buffoon, you projecting poopy head. Take a frickin' joke? What joke? Where was the joke, you brain-farting idiot? There was never a joke. A person being idiotic and wrong doesn't mean it is a joke. For instance, you now are being idiotic and wrong, so don't just say you were just joking, bro. You are literally too shallow to even see how deep I drown you. It is not okay to call someone the R-word just because they insulted me? What? It absolutely is okay. You really can't be this dumb. You must be trolling. Says the troll. If you place sensitivity on any word used as an insult, then logic would dictate you can insult back with any word. And I'm not calling them the R-word because they insulted me, I'm calling them that because they are being dumb. They never insulted me in the first place. I called them that on my first comment and then on the second for confirming it. But how would you know that when your IQ is single digits and can't follow a thread or read? Also, how would I know what? That the wrong BS you said and I just refuted is wrong? Well, because I have a brain which has far more brain power in a single synapse than you have in the entirety of yours. Oh my, we are dealing with Megamind over here, watch out. And how does one physical appearance relates to knowledge anyhow? One can be the most ugly and fat guy in the existence and still read, think, and know stuff. You are dumb for correlating the two. My Jabba the Hutt body? Really? I can feel you burning out from here. That sick burn must have taken you ages to construct. I appreciate it, good work. But no, I'm perfectly fit. In fact, willing to bet I'm skinnier than you. As for the continued cliche of mother's basement, what else do I need to say to that? I feel like you're the disabled kid at football games that the entire team aids in scoring a touchdown, except I pretend you're moronic cookie-cutter insults that come out of a stained 90s internet teen insult manual are sick burns to make life more bearable for you and your disabled sense of insulting. I don't live in my mother's basement, nor do I eat tendies, nor have anime waifu pillows. I'm financially independent since 16, and I've never owned a body pillow. Why would I need a body pillow when I have an organic sock? Oh wait, that's your mother. Pardon. Mountain Dew scented Axe body spray? Do you realize how dumb and nonsensical that sounds? There is no Axe body spray with such scent, and Mountain Dew doesn't release scent. Even I am making a case for you not to say dumb stuff, and say if you are trying to imply that I clumsily drink so much Mountain Dew that it dries on my hands and everything I touch with or spill it on, including an Axe body spray, even then it would be a lame insult, far greater than yours, but still lame, and that would at least make sense, but you didn't say nor imply that. Do us a favor? Us who be? It's only one moron speaking you. Us who? Refer to yourself as me, not us, unless you suffer from BPD or you are such a sub-average Redditor that you have actually convinced yourself you belong in a hive mind. As for me looking in front of the mirror, I get and admiring this absolute Chad I have in my fierce filled with visceral passion and life eyes, and I ask myself that, and I understand that the answer to that question is hell yeah, but I wouldn't simp for her even if she wasn't. Then just shut up? Sure, because Einstein, Bohr, Wittgenstein would shut up being told to do so by a low IQ nano-sized argumentless wrong illogical brain of a lesser being. Bro, shut the hell up and take that crap dropped out of your lobotomy hole back in, you poop head. And you call me utter buffoon? I am beyond God to you, you filth. Bunsen Boy simply replies, that sure is a lot of words for I can't get laid. Neckbeard replies, no, these are too few words for you're extremely wrong and I am right, but oh well, only idiots would correlate intelligence with a lack of ability to get laid, when in fact, I can use it to get more laid than you ever will, and you just need something to cope with. For being the R word once again, this guy sure loves that word. I've heard a bear die replies, you are maybe the saddest individual I've ever seen. Get your stuff together, bro. Go get a job if you don't have one. Stop farming karma on every sub related to cats, and maybe don't act like you're intellectually superior to everyone because you don't like yourself. Neckbeard replies, people who say you're maybe the saddest individual to strangers they don't know anything about are the saddest individuals for that fact alone, despite me not knowing anything about them other than their low IQ and sad miserable experience that propels them to write such sentences. On the contrary, I am the most marvelous and amazing individual you have seen and will ever see. Get my stuff together. My stuff is so tightly put together that it parallels the complexity of a quantum computer and can simulate quintillion times higher complexities than your miserable experience. That is just how much my stuff is put and structured together, B. Get a job? B, I can get any job, anytime, anywhere. I am a god. I don't just do the get a job, I create the job. I am the exact opposite of farming for karma. I am sourcefully redistributing the goods among various of applicable subs regardless of their size and karma potential, just for the good and timely availability of goods for every Redditor that likes to see such content without discriminating against his subscription choices. For instance, why would a subscriber of r/cats not be able to see the equally applicable content of r/cat gifts? I don't act like I'm intellectually superior to everyone. I am intellectually and in multitudes of other ways superior to others. How I act is precisely not how I have the right to act. I act as politely as dumb pieces of fecal matter like you deserve to be reacted to in the most hypothetical, idealiatic world. If I weren't to do that, I wouldn't even dignify you with response. I don't like myself, B, I love myself. Yeah, we can clearly tell, you don't have to tell us. How can you not see that? I enjoy being jerked off by such lesser, submissive beings such as yourself. Keep it going, I'm about to... You silly B. Pimp slaps you back in your corner. People who think strangers know whether they like themselves or not are psychologically proven to be people that usually dislike themselves. I, on the other hand, don't presume to tell you whether you like yourself or not. I speak only of the demonstrable truth, which is your R word again, exposed via your illogical, stupid, ignorant, and wrong claims. Chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself, you dumb echo chamber of vocal low IQs. BP42S replies, honestly I hope you're just a troll lol. I've heard a bear die comments, wow, you're really trying hard to make it so now no one likes you. Have fun never getting laid, you old fat. Enjoy the smell of crusty man juices, pee, and Mountain Dew in the hellish basement you are too fat to crawl out of. Neckbeard replies, idiot, and then goes on to quote I've heard a bear die like a green text. B, first and foremost, you don't speak in anyone's name but your own, so you cannot imply no one likes me with any validity. You can only say that about your own dislike of me, which even then is doubtfully the case, since you just hate the truth. That hurts you, not the conveyor of the truth, but you are too dumb to operate through such complex emotions, so it's understandable if you're convinced you dislike me. Second, does it look like I care if some low IQ like yourselves like me or not, B? Does it? Since you have difficulty even grasping the obvious, I will have to assist you there in getting the fact that no, it does not look like I care. Third, I neither live in such conditions nor such locations. I am not fat, nor am I old. I absolutely am certain I am an organism that neither resembles a C word in physical nor metaphorical aspects, and I could have fun getting laid because I can touch the core of a girl's innermost personal identity, and you cannot even decode their public image. Fourth, you call me fat, virgin, and a neckbeard, neither of which are falsifiable statements, rather empty false insults, while I literally do not even try to insult you, just tell you the truth of your R word, which is demonstrable by your nonsensical, illogical, stereotypical, cliche tirades. Fifth, the world is not the USA, nor does every market or grocery store in the US sell Mountain Dew, which again goes to show the dullness and limitations of your stereotypical insults. Sixth, smell of crusty man juices. You must have that in your olfactory data repertoire to know it, which by itself is a sad fact of your existence. Luckily, I have never smelled nor had the opportunities or lack of hygiene to smell any of that crusty stuff, neither mine nor someone else's. Even less so, an amalgamation of crusty man juices and pee. I pity your existence for exposing yourself to or creating the necessary conditions to know these smells. Seventh, too fat to crawl out of the basement? Let's see, if one was truly too fat to crawl out of the basement, wouldn't one use alternative methods for getting out of the basement and not crawling out? One could use elevator systems, or escalators, electric, or variety of fuel-based vehicular and aiding devices for the obese and the physically handicapped, etc. So again, your insult, even when considered by its own mechanics, breaks up immediately at the tiniest shred of analysis, and that is even without mentioning that it's outrageously false. Okay, let's consider then that you meant not motion-wise that it would be hard for one to get out, since I already debunked that, but size-wise. Let's say one was too fat, that one couldn't get out of or enter in any basement opening regardless of it being elevator stationed or just a regular or jumbo-sized door. Brace yourselves, guys, it's time for some neckbeard math. Average door proportions are 30 inches wide, 80 inches tall. Let's make a jumbo-sized door double that width, not increase the height since your insult is predicated on abnormal fatness, not abnormal tallness. Using the most optimal method for a fat person to get through would be to tilt his body where it will be the thinnest to get through. So if one couldn't find his body to be thinner than 60 inches in any angle, whether sideways, straight, or diagonal and anything in between, one would have to be at least 61 inch and 61 and not 60.00001, because anything between 0.1 and 0.9 inch one could argue to be squeezable and diagonal offset of his entire non-rigid proportions. Then that would mean one's waist would approximately be at minimum around 244 inches, which would be 20 feet, and the highest recorded waist in history is 9 feet 11 inches. That would, by default, make one a new world record, but then people with obesity as severe as such aren't medically viable to live. But let's say they were, then they would have countless of problems that would not allow them to use speech to text, difficulty producing vocalized intelligible speech to be recognized by speech-to-text programs, and too heavy arms and fat fingers to type accurately. But let's solve that by Stephen Hawking it. They do everything with an inbuilt tongue or eye pointer system, even though they wouldn't be able to achieve my average speed for writing a comment out, generously assuming I'm writing it the moment I reply. So given all possible circumstances and most radically generous assumptions in your favor, your alternative insulting implication is so nonsensical that it still breaks apart upon the slightest scrutiny and analysis. You dumb bee. Holy, this guy just won't stop until he proves himself right, huh? You know, this is a lot of effort to go through for trolling. And if you thought this was it, nope, there's more. We're going to a half hour if we have to. The Neckbeard also replied to BP42S, who called him a troll. Such irrational hopes are common in the lesser minds who cannot fathom greatness such as mine that makes them seem like bacteria to me, and me like a god to them. So back in your place, B, I am the one who destroys trolls, not the troll, you low IQ bitterino. That's the B word, but intentionally mispronounced, by the way. Edit. Autocorrect being sneaky. Well, if you were such a genius, you wouldn't even need autocorrect because you would know how to spell every single word in the English language. Salty Bagel simply replies, K. Joe Gibbon replies, fathom, not phantom. And the Neckbeard replies, yeah, I know. Correcting my autocorrect will be the biggest accomplishment of your life. And this is a quote of a comment I can't find here. I just find it hilarious that you completely misused a pseudo-intellectual word like fathom when trying to make yourself sound smart by insulting someone else's intelligence. And you can't even own your mistake. Instead, you blame it on autocorrect. Just admit it. You had no idea how the word was spelled when you wrote the wrong thing. Go on, admit that you were wrong. The Neckbeard's reply, completely misused, false. I used the word fathom completely properly. I don't know what you're talking about how I'm wrong in using the word fathom. Pseudo-intellectual word, False. Words are pseudo-intellectual now. You can use words pseudo-intellectually, but a standardized word by itself is not a pseudo-intellectual. That is not a pseudo-intellectual word. You are again revealing how dumb you are by how wrong you are. Trying to make myself look smart? False. I would have to lose over 50 IQ points to make myself look just smart. I am far beyond that and do not need to undersell myself, especially when confronting R words such as him and you. Can't own up to my mistake? There was zero error of mine involved. It was autocorrect's error. Admit what? Your false accusation without any proof and a shred of evidence? How can I admit that when it is a lie? I had no idea how the word was spelled. False. Go search for the word fathom in my comment history and you will find that before that I have used it, had idea how it was spelt, and wrote the right thing. Admit I was wrong? I could never admit something that is simply not true. I can only admit the truth, which is, you were proven wrong here. You are a hypocrite who tries to make me look like I don't know a word, when I know it to make you feel better by your own limited vocabulary. All of which you are saying is demonstrably wrong, and all of what I said is demonstrably and proven right. You are an R word, and I knew that word since I was a baby. While you don't know how to not be stupid and expose it via your errors in reasoning and your incompetence in language, and by incompetence in language, I mean you don't know the difference between misused word, misspelled word, autocorrect word, typo, and properly used word. Speaking of pseudo-intellectualism, you are in a meta fashion exposing you are pseudo-intellectual by thinking you are confidently right, while being demonstrably wrong and having zero clue as to what in the world you are talking about. Hi, a highest of echelons intellectual put you in your place while giving you the enlightenment to get out of your ignorance, but never out of your stupidity, because that is not my job. That is the job of the neuroplasticity cognitive worker appointed for the mentally stunted such as yourself. I find it hilarious how many layers of irony you have created with both your linguistic incompetence, your exposed complete lack of intelligence, and your lack of self-awareness. You absolute Dunning-Kruger suffering Senor Ignoracio. And Salty Bagels finishes it off by saying, "K, this neckbeard is just something else. I can't believe I went on over 20 minutes for a single post. That's insane. It's because this neckbeard went on and on and on. Now I said I spent over 20 minutes reading this. I think this troll must have spent hours upon hours trying to formulate the right response. Look, I'm using big words too. Anyway, if this one does at least half as well as the normal videos, I'll read that long post from the last Nice Guys in another Extras episode, but for now, stay tuned for Choosing Beggars probably in a couple days. I'd like to thank all of my patrons, especially Seth Southwell, Spoonie the Rogue, Fear the Cannibal, Genvoir, TKOAS, and Benjamins. You can join in the link below, and I'll see you guys next time. Whew, that was a long one. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. If you have something interesting to say, don't forget to comment. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. See you guys next time.